Round 7, I believe. It's France today, and I will be your commentator today. I'm Sondre Sorhaug. As Lance is currently unavailable, and it's been a while since I've done comms for SRL, so not really up to date on who to look out for to take the win, stuff like that, but I see some familiar faces here, so I know that Mr. Lewis Marshall in the Mercedes there, he will be leading this championship, I believe. He did last time I checked at least, so he's gonna be a driver to watch out for. Then I believe Tim Ventink is in second, so it's gonna be interesting. Then if you could just excuse me for a small moment. Also, Sandro Julius further down there. I know that he's been up there usually before. I'm not completely sure how he's doing this season, but I would be surprised if he's not up there once again. Marshall, good to see you in the stream already. And just gonna be trying to update myself a bit on the names here. So, let's see. We have Sandro here, we have Dion Stahl. Hello there, Jorge. Oh, so you are racing, Jorge, alright. Jorge and Ivan Brito both in the Alphas. So, we have a wet quali here in France, so that's gonna be interesting. But let's see, I'm gonna go through the teams here then. So, in the Mercedes, we have Lewis Marshall and Vasilius Bellet. Oh, no, not this again. uh, yeah, Vasilius, I'm gonna go with that. I tried that before and that didn't work. In the Ferrari, we have Dion Stahl and Sandro Julis. Then in Aston Martin, we have Nick van Gelder and Jure Marusic. Please don't hang me in if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Then we have Rene van der Stapp in the McLaren alone today, it looks like. Who should we be watching? Who's the first one? It's not Marshall. I think it might actually be Rene. But Josie, as we were on with the teams in Renault today. Well, Williams, I think we're missing both drivers actually. So yeah, so no Williams on the grid today. Samuel Brandt should be here for the Haas team together with his teammate Reese March. But now we're gonna watch Rene van der Stappen starting his lap. I'm not completely sure, but I believe he should be the first driver to start his lap as he's going over the line in just a moment. And there we go. France Grand Prix heads off. Oh, and we have Dion Stahl already out of quali. As we can see that Van der Stappen is taking that turn 1 and 2 combinations fairly cautious. Coming into this long left-hander here, then on to a long right-hander now before heading to the straight. And you can see Renate going a bit wide there, which in the dries it's really the best way to take that corner possible. But when it's wet, I'm not sure. You should stay on that racing line as it's drier than the rest of the track. However, Rene seems to have a fairly decent chicane there. Coming into the last sector now, through this very long right-hander before he gets into this more twisty section. Dangerous place to touch the inside curve where he just went through there. Then over to the second to last corner now, where you have the new pit entry this season. Not the same pit entry where you had to stay on the right here, but Rene going over the line, he's gonna do a 44.4, and I believe Marshall should be right behind him. Going over the line in a few moments. What are you gonna be doing then? It's gonna be a 43.4, and the second quicker than Rene as Tim goes. Fourth and slower than Marshall. Let's see then. Oh, sorry about that. Euromatter Research putting a 49.4 up. Alright. What about Samuel in his Haas? Samuel is in the first sector here, heading on to the long straight now. Also taking a slightly wider line out of that corner. Then into the chicane. Into the final sector, and oh, and it's into the wall for Samuel Brandt. Oh, it's gonna be tricky today, that corner in quali. Oh, as Billy has retired too, so where he retired, I'm not sure, but we'll jump over to another driver then on a lap. It should be the racing point of Brian Power, I believe. In just his fourth race today, I believe it will be. in through this final sector. It's looking... Oh. I will have to say it's not looking optimal through this final sector here, but one more corner, Brian, and you should be going over the line. As he comes out of the final corner, it's gonna be a 145, 146, 146.2, and it's 7th at the moment. Do we have anyone on a lap now then? Jan Holm maybe? Oh my god! That was a Red Bull, I believe, trying to get back to his pit. So let's see, who have we missed at the beginning? Colin Higgins went over the line in 6th with a 146.1. Marshall have just improved his time and went even quicker with a 142.6. And extended his lead by 1.2 seconds down to Tim Ventic now. Jan Holm though, the Danish driver. Oh, going very wide in the second to last corner here. Is that valid though if he goes over the line? It is, but it's a 151.286 and still quite far off, so... Oh. Jorge Correa. Jorge out of the chicane onto the final sector for him. Let's see then, Jorge, out of the final corner, what are you going to be putting up? It's going to be 144, I believe, 144.1, which is 4th place at the moment, because in that Nick Van Gelder has done a 43.6 without me noticing, so he's put himself in 2nd. Tim Wentink is out on the lap though. From what I can see, understanding, he has looked like the main rival for Lewis Marshall this season. Into the chicane, and it looks alright. Can he get the power down quickly enough? Well, I gotta be honest with you, Marshall. I assume you will be hearing me when I'm saying this, but yeah, your lap is kind of bad. I would be expecting a quicker lap than that. But nonetheless, oh, as Rene has gone 2nd with a 143.3. Then Tim Venting, what can he do? He's in 2nd to last corner now. Taking it nice and tidy through out of the last corner. He's gonna come up to the line now. It's gonna be 143, 142, 142.7. Making sure that Marshall isn't running away with it so far. Let's see then. Colin Higgins out on a lap 2. Venting's teammate. Always gotta remember that One thing is the Drivers' Championship, the other thing is the Constructors' Championship, and right now I think I can say fairly confident that Tim would like Coilan to be a little higher up, but let's see, he's on the lap, so... Oh my god, and I saw a Red Bull, I believe, drifting through that fast right-hander. We're getting close to the 5-minute mark of quali. Coiling going through the second to last corner now. A little bit wide, then through the final corner, a little bit wide here too. That's not gonna help with his exit. Then over the line, it's gonna be a 145, 145.8, and it's still gonna be 10th. And well, that's not an improvement, I think, actually. So, what about Jure Marusic? He's on a lap in his Red Bull, going down the long straight right now. Marshall is on an out lap. He's preparing to do his final lap on those intermediate tires. Let's see here. You're coming into this very fast right-hander. Then through his long right-hander. Actually a good overtaking place if you can spot a weakness in the driver ahead of you. As we see, oh, you're losing the rear out of a left-hander, and that has lost him time. He's gonna finish his lap though. But it can't be an improvement with that, or can it? Well, it depends if he made a mistake on his previous lap or not. As he's coming over the line, and it's gonna be a 47.3, so it is a second improvement almost, but... Interesting to see. Tim looks like he's still out on those worn Inter tires now. And it looks like he's gonna be finishing his quali on those tires. As we can see him through the second to last corner into the last corner. What can he do? Struggling to get on the power there, but over the line it's going to be 142.4, and it's provisional pole. But Lewis Marshall is out though. He's on a lap, and we're going to watch him for... Well, nah, he's not actually on a lap. Is he about to start one then, maybe? As Robin Herstadhaugen has just joined us, and I believe he should be in one of the Williamses. However, which car he's gonna get joining mid-quali, I'm not sure about. Tim Renting though, saying he's happy with quali now. He's gonna retire his car. He's in provisional, but Marshall is out on lap. He's gonna try to break that lap. And I think if Marshall can't get his act together now, I'm very certain we're gonna see him down in the 41s. As he's coming onto the long straight here into the chicane. This is for pole, Marshall. Don't correct now. A little bit wide in the chicane there. As he heads on to the very fast right-hander then. He's slightly up on his time, but you gotta make some time in the last sector if you want this pole, Marshall. Then through this long right-hander, and... has he backed off? like he's actually backed off. Interesting. He's gonna push his fuel down as much as possible, I guess. Oh, we can't give you all the screen time, so let's see. Nick Van Gelder, possibly last season's champion, I believe. The title defender. Nick Van Gelder out of the chicane. He's slightly down on his lap time. However, of course, with a good final sector, a lot can be done. Marshall has just set out to do his final lap, I believe. Nick Van Gelder, he's going to be going over the line in just a few moments. We can see that. Other drivers still on the lap will be Sandro Julis. It will be Reese March and Colin Higgins. Jurma Rusic and Jan Holm has just finished their lap. Same with Jorge. Then Nick Van Gelder out of the final corner. Can he challenge the top two for pole today? Or is he going to be a little bit behind? He's going to be behind and he's over the line with a spin. We're going to head over to Sandro Julius then in the Ferrari. Looking a little bit twitchy on the entry to the chicane there. As he's barely a few thousandths up on his time, 3,000ths to be exact. Oh, as he's lost the car and is out of quali and into the wall. Let's follow Lewis Marshall then as he's going over the line. It's gonna be Paul with a 142 flat. Then it's only one driver left on the grid who is finishing his quali. It's Colin Higgins as he's going through the last corner. Very wide there and... oh, and I don't think that is valid and it's not an improvement either. And quali is finished and a little bit as expected. We had Tim Venting and Lewis Marshall fighting for pole. However, it was Lewis Marshall coming out on top, taking pole position today. We have Jorge Correa taking third in his Alfa Romeo. Rene van der Stapp taking fourth. Then Ivan Preto in fifth. Nick Van Gelder in sixth. Brian Power in seventh. Sandro Julius in eighth. Reese March in ninth. Then Colin Higgins rounding up the top 10. Outside of the top 10, we have Jure Marusic in his Red Bull, Jan Holm in his Toro Rosso, Samuel Brandt crashing out early in his Haas, Dion Stahl also crashing out early, I believe, and Vasilius. And of course, we had Robin joining the lobby late there, so. So, who is your favorite then? Is it going to be Venting or is it going to be Marshall? And I believe it's round 7. And having a look at the championship standings there, and we have Lewis Marshall in the lead with 77 points. Just 2 points ahead of Tim Venting on 75, then 1 more point down to Cameron Weston Edwards on 74 and 1 more point down to Vasilius on 73. So it's a close for championship. There it's not that far down to Rene in 5th either, but there is a bigger gap there, and then it's a bigger gap after that down to Jorge too. So it's closely fought championship. I can see that we have some Portuguese supporters for Ivan and Jorge here today. And we can and look at this. We have some split strategies here, and let's see here. We have Lewis Marshall in first, starting on the soft tires. So he knows what strategy you can pull off here if you're good enough on your tires and quick enough at the start. So good man, good man. Tim Venting, Jorge Correa and Rene van der Staap is all going on the safer strategy, which is starting on mediums. It's fair enough, the two for that matter. Then you have Ivan Brito, he's starting on the soft tires. So he's also opted for the softer strategy, same as Marshall. So good man. Nick Van Gelder on medium tires. Then Brian Power on soft tires. Then everyone down from Sandro to Samuel on medium tires. Then we had Dion Stahl on hard tires in 14th. Billy on soft tires in 15th. And then Robin on medium tires in 16th and last. So a small split in strategies here. Of course, Marshall is from the lead. Marshall needs to get his getaway right. If he gets passed by Tim Ventic into the first corner, his strategy is not really the best anymore, but with those soft tires, he should have an advantage off the line, so we're gonna have to wait and see. In the meantime, we can see them lining up on the grid now. So what do you Portuguese guys think? Any Portuguese on the podium today? In the meantime, we are getting ready for lights out. And there we go, 4 or 5 red lights, and away we go there. And it looks like a fairly decent start from the top 4. I believe it's Brian Power getting a really good start in the background there. Oh, and we can see Ivan going side by side with Brian Power. Then Brian Power now side by side with Reese March. Oh, and there's a lot of action all over here. We can see that Marshall is already pulling out a gap, and that's exactly what he needs to. He needs to get Tim Venting out of his DRS range straight away. Oh, and look at this. Reese March against Sandro Julius and Nick Van Gelder. Nick Van Gelder has got a horrible start. I believe he was higher up. Well, not a horrible start. He's lost a few positions, but I mean, that happens sometimes. Oh, as Jan Holm is already out of France Grand Prix. PTRL power. Look at this though, Sandro Julius getting really close to the rear of Reese March. He's gonna go for a move in through this long right-hander. He's on the inside. He's gotten a move done, but is he gonna be able to hold off? As Reese March sticks his nose in the next corner, and Reese March spins it around. Got up on that curb. We did mention that during quali. Oh, and look at this three-way battle. It's between Vasilius Koilins and Samuel Brandt, I believe. We also have Nick Van Gelder right out of these drivers. But look at this though, Samuel Brandt, he's going to be looking for a move into turn 1 on Colin Higgins. He can't really get it done there. Oh, and what about Vasilius taking out that brake marker board, trying to find an optimal line to beat Nick Van Gelder there. But he's gonna have to stay behind for now, but obviously with a good run on to this long straight here, he should be close enough to make a move on Nick Van Gelder. As he goes down the inside, he goes a little bit deep, but he's gotten the position here, and we can also see in the background that Colin Higgins is still holding off Samuel Branter. However, Vasilius might have gotten the position, but he's gonna have to now fight back against Nick Van Gelder. Nick, who is gonna be trying to find some space to make a move back at Vasilius. Or Vasilius on his soft tires moved up 7 positions so far. And he's gonna keep using the soft tire advantage for a little longer. Shall we see here? Oh, and look at this. It's Dion against Reese March. Reese March around the outside in the final corner on Dion. And he's gotten the position. But it's action further up the field to the racing point of Brian Power, holding up both Sandro and Vasilius here. They're both looking to get a move on. And Vasilius, he's low on time. He's on soft tires. He gotta start making moves. More moves quickly now. We can see that Sandro has gotten the position done and dusted before the corner. We can see that Vasilius got the move done through the corner. And they're both through, and that is 2 positions lost for Brian. Oh, and it's Coilin against Reese March again. Reese is still ahead, and oh, and something's happened with Sandro, I believe. He's lost 2 positions to Billy and Brian. However, he's gotten the position back on Brian already. I'm not sure if there was an ambitious move by Vasilius or what happened, but he's lost some time, and you can see that Nick Van Gelder now making a move on Brian Power. Billy up 9 positions at the moment. So far a great performance, as we can see that Nick is still gonna have to be behind Brian here as he picks up a tire 3-second time penalty too. And let's see. This looks like the closest one so far. As Nick is on the inside on Brian, and it should be an easy move before a corner here for him. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. I think Brian has massively outbraked himself there. He's went straight on, he's lost something. And he's gonna have to concede that position and that position, so not a great moment for Brian, I believe. But look at this though, Jorge is still right on the back of Tim Ventink. Rene is getting close to the rear of Jorge now too. We can see that Marshall's soft tires have started to go off now. He's losing time to Tim Benton. However, Marshall's pit window is from now until lap 9. As long as he can take those softs, the better. But it's not a problem to take the medium tires from this lap onwards to the end. I should know, I've done it myself, so it's not gonna be fun at the last final laps, but it's completely possible. As you can see that Jorge's trying to find a way past Tim Ventink. Marshall, you're losing a lot of time. Just pit for medium tires if you want to get this win. Marshall is staying out another lap. Look at this, Jorge still chasing after the rear of Tim here. As we're getting these beautiful helicopter pictures, and there they go. But Tim now with DRS on Marshall, it's gonna be harder for Jorge to get past Tim then. You can see that Marshall is struggling on those soft tires now. He should be pitting. He's losing way too much time to be staying out on these tires. And look at this, Tim Menting is fancying a move already. Marshall is going with a tight line through this corner to prevent it. He needs to keep these drivers behind him for just a little bit longer. And look at this, he's struggling massively. What is he gonna do though? He's gonna stay out another lap. What is he doing? Pit in for medium tires. Oh, yeah. Marshall here shooting himself in the leg pretty much. He's got to be pitting on the next lap for his sake. You can see that he's just not getting any grip on those tires. Oh, and I can see that there is some moves further down the field too, but this is gonna be interesting down the long straight as Marshall is holding up these three drivers. All three of them might have a go at Marshall down the long straight. Tim is definitely gonna have a go at him as he's already right alongside him. What about Jorge? Is he gonna fancy a move? Marshall goes defensive, he moves back to the line, and I think Jorge's gotten wing damage there. Oh, sketchy. I do not think Jorge is going to be happy about that. He might have to pit for hard tires. In the meantime, look at... We can see that Marshall is now losing more and more time. Is he going to pit on this lap? Let's see then. They're coming up to the pit entry. And he's staying out another lap. What are you doing, Marshall? Ivan Brito then chasing after the rear of Sandro. I believe he's actually been passed by Sandro just now. Billy pits in for hard tires. Oh, and he's gonna notice how badly those tires are on this track. What about Rene van der Stappen? He's right on the back of Jorge Correa. Going on to the long straight. Are we gonna see Rene making a move on the Alpha driver? The Portuguese driver goes defensive, but he has no defending against Rene here. And Rene is passed. What about Ivan Brito? Can he make a go at Sandro here? Sandro, who I believe he was fighting for the championship last season for a long time, and this season he looks a little bit like he's nowhere. So not sure what's happened there. Maybe he's just lost some pace on this game. I've seen that happen to a lot of other people. As Luis Marshall goes into the pit, Jorge Correa goes into the pit too. What Ivan Brito goes into the pit to Marshall on to medium tires. That is the right strategy call for him. And we have the two Hases battling for position down the start finish straight now. For Jorge, he's going on to soft tires. What about Ivan Brito? Oh, and look at this. That is Reese March going very wide. He's now on under attack from his teammate Samuel. And Marshall is still ahead of his teammate Billy. It looks like Reese is going to be staying ahead of Samuel for now. Ivan Brito is out on hard tires. That is going to cost them time. Those tires are atrocious to be on. And let's see them. Gap to leader. Lewis Marshall pitted. He's 24 seconds behind Tim Vending, although he's going to go for a massive undercut. Tim is going to be on the hard tires at the end, so it's going to be interesting to see who comes out on top in this battle today. Marshall is already passing cars. He's passed Coylin Higgins already. I can bet you that Tim wanted Coylin to battle a little harder for that position, as Marshall is in the net lead now, I believe. Nonetheless though, oh, we have some battles further down here too. We have Robin against Ivan Brito. Ivan on those hard tires. Ivan's gonna realize soon how bad those tires are. As well, Robin is going into the pit actually, so what is he gonna do then? No battles on track right now. We're gonna stay with Robin to see what he goes on to. And it's hard tires. Right, so let's look at Marshall then, how he's doing on those medium tires. He's up on his PB at least. He's pushing like a madman now. He's kind of have to. He knows he's got to be bullied by me if he doesn't win today. So he just knows it. Let's see, gap to leader right now. It's 22 seconds, so he's catch 2 seconds on Tim already, but he's gotta catch more. Over the line, he puts up the fastest lap so far with a 1:34.681, I believe it was. Oh, as Billy has made a move on Coylin Higgins into the first corner, and it's an easy done move for Billy here. Oh, and Coylin went wide, letting Jorge Correa getting through too. So we're getting these beautiful helicopter pictures again. Jorge Correa, he shouldn't be close enough. He's not close enough to make a move on Billy this lap. But he's on soft tires though, and those soft tires are still good, and he's getting close to Vasilius there. He's gonna go on the inside into this fast right-hander. He's gonna get the move done and dusted, and into the final sector. He's ahead of Vasilius. But will he be able to keep ahead though? He should be. He's going through these final corners in this sector now. Over the line. Is it gonna be a fastest lap? It's not. It's not. No. Billy stays with him so far. 3-second time penalty for Jorge there. Let's have another look at the gap to the leader. Marshall caught in another second on Tim. And look at this, we're missing a battle there. Coylin Higgins has just come out on fresh hard tires. He's right behind Ivan Brito, right ahead of Dion Stahl. Dion Stahl on the medium tires though, so he should have a tire advantage there. They're all fighting for the last point in this race. That's 10th position. As they go down the long straight now. And we can see that Rene is pitting, Sandro is pitting, Tim is staying out, interesting. Rene for hard tires, I believe it's gonna be hard tires for Sandro too. Marshall is already past all of these trees. Samuel also in for hard tires. And it's now only 20 seconds between Marshall and Tim. Oh, look at this, Jorge right on the back of Rene. He's on soft tires. He's gonna be looking to make a move on this long straight. Marshall has a lot of clean air now to keep catching up to Tim, and we can see Jorge going on the inside of Rene, and he gets the move done into the chicane. Fair and easy move there for Jorge. He's not gonna be pressured from behind either. What about Dion? Dion is getting closer to Coylin, but... Oh, and Coylin goes defensive. Dion has to make a move around the outside into the chicane. He gets the move done, and he's ahead of the Renault. One position closer to points for Dion. What about Rene? And we can see that... Oh no, that's Reese is in for his pit stop. He's gonna go to hard tires. Tim is still staying out. And considering how far into the race we are, I'm starting to wonder if we might see Tim trying to go over to the soft tires in the end, actually. I don't think that would be a good idea. We all saw how Marshall's soft tires went off badly at the end of his stint, so Tim has to make those mediums last until about lap 20 to get soft tires without them falling apart completely. Coylin Higgins though, can he get back at Dion Stahl here? They're coming to the long straight now. Last time out we saw Dion passing Coylin. Coylin Higgins is gonna have DRS, but is he close enough to make a move? He's gonna go for the inside line. It's gonna be a dive, but he can't get past Dion. Brakes later. Let's see here. 18 seconds separating Marshall and Tim right now. Nick Van Gelder is getting close to the rear of Ivan Brito now. Nick is on medium tires, Ivan is on hard tires. This should be an easy move for Nick right now with that tire advantage. Let's see here, Nick Van Gelder. He's right on the back of Ivan Brito. Oh, and Nick has lost it somewhere as he had to make a long cut there. Does he have wing damage though? His wing is intact. He's not attacking Ivan anymore then. Still though, Tim managing to keep those medium tires fairly well. He's not losing a lot of time to Marshall right now. Nick Van Gelder been passed by Dion Stahl actually. I missed that. Gonna have to apologize for that. But Nick though, he's gonna be looking to make a move back at Dion. He's gonna be on the inside in the final corner. That's a difficult move to make simply because you get such a bad run off the exit, but Dion decides to stay behind Nick for the time being, I think. What about Tim? He's losing a little time, not too much, but what is he thinking? He's definitely looking to go over to the soft tires, which will make this interesting. I think his issue is though that he's gonna be behind Rene and Billy too, not just Marshall, so well, I'm not sure actually. He's gonna be behind Jorge, but Jorge has to pit again. He's on 7 laps old soft tires right now, so Dion Stahl though, Dion Stahl on the inside of Nick into the chicane, and it's an easy move down there. Oh, but look at this, Nick, he focused on the exit. He's gonna be coming back on Dion here. He's gonna try to do it around the outside in this fast right under. Dion goes defensive once again for this long right-hander here. Nick is way past, he can't right now. Ooh, as Nick cars looks a little slippery there. Oh, but Dion goes a little bit wide. Nick takes a tighter line. He's gonna try to find a move here. But I think that Nick is gonna be waiting for the long straight to be able to make a move. He can make it into turn 1. He's closer now. He's gonna be making a move. It looked actually like he had a small lock up there. But now I can also notice that we will have to go on for these a little further up. Well, I don't think we're gonna see a move here first. I think the move is gonna be from Nick on wait. And Dion has went very wide, and we're not gonna see a move here then. And we can see that Marshall is taking more time now. It's just 16 seconds between Tim. Tim is still on those old medium tires. And look at this, Rene. Oh, that was a little confusing, the picture we got there, but that was Jorge diving into the pit actually. He's gonna go for another set of soft tires, I believe. Either that or a fresh set of mediums. Vasilius, can he make a move on Rene here? 9 between Tim and Lewis Marshall. Oh, and Vasilius is looking to try to get a move done on Rene here. Rene has been on those hard tires for 5 laps. Vasilius has... Vasilis is within DRS range, but I don't think he's close enough to make a move. He's gonna have to dive it. He's gonna dive it on the inside over, and there is wing damage for Rene van der Stappen, and he's not gonna be happy about that. Vasilis is still side by side with him. Marshall has caught more time on Tim now. Tim has to make a decision to pit soon. He's starting to lose too much time for him to gain back on Marshall. And he's also going to be unlucky because it looks like he's going to have to end behind Billy on track after he goes out of the pit, and Billy will be fighting for that position, I'm sure about that. And we can see that Rene is going into the pit. He can't drive with that front wing damage, and that is a podium out of the window for Rene. And further down the field we can see that Nick van Gelder, Dion Stahl and Higgins is still fighting for that last point today for 10th position. And I think this is have to be a little weird for Nick, going from fighting for the championship last season to now fighting for just a point or not. Oh, but can't be missing this battle either. Jorge is right on the back of Samuel Brandt. Jorge on his fresh soft tires. He's gonna make a move around the outside of Samuel and then the inside before the long straight. And what a move by Jorge Correa there. But I believe DRS will be Samuel who has DRS. He does, but can he get close enough to make a move on Jorge there though? And can he be able to beat Jorge on the exit from this chicane? He will not be making a move. He's not gonna get close enough. Jorge is just pulling away from him now. Jorge, who's got that early wing damage, he's still then trying to recover from that. And we can see Tim Menting into the pit is, and he's behind Marshall. Billy's on the start finish straight now. It's going to be close between Billy and Tim. Tim is going to be ahead, but Billy will have the momentum. But I think that it's going to be too hard for Billy to get back at Tim now. But Tim though, 8 seconds to catch on Lewis Marshall. It's laps left. Oh, and Dion Stahl is out of the race. Are we gonna get safety car? Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. And this is falling right into the hands for Tess. Where exactly? I didn't see Dion there. Where it was. I couldn't see him, so I'm not actually sure where he. I know that he was around there someplace, but Tim, no, he's in a prime position. Marshall will have to make a pit stop now for soft tires. He's not going to be able to keep Tim off with those old medium tires. The problem is, of course, for Marshall now that he's going to lose that first place to Tim. And then it's actually hard to say. I'm guessing that Marshall's teammate Billy will also be pitting for soft tires. Billy doesn't pit for soft tires. He's gonna stay out on those old hard tires. That is a bad decision. I've seen people try that before and that rarely works out. Sandro is gonna pit in for soft tires. The same with Reese March. Jorge, he's on 2 laps old soft tires, so he might as well just stay out, although those tires are going to be a little bit worse than everybody else's. Let's see who else. Samuel Brandt pits in for soft tires. Rene is going to do the same. Ivan Brito is going to do the same. Everyone's going to be on soft tires except for Billy. Billy's going to... Oh, Billy's just going to be like a boat for everyone then. And, well, and who's that? I believe that's Robin Haugen, who's in between Tim and Marshall here. And this is gonna be a fiery start. Samuel Brandt has actually opted to go on mediums. The same have Higgins and Prime Power. And to be fair, at the last 2 laps, then mediums might actually be the better tire, but the softs are gonna be so much better for the first 4 laps about there. Vasilius though, what have you done? Those hard tires are gonna they're gonna make you so vulnerable on this restart. And I believe Robin has been let go by the safety car now, so I get of this safety car before we go underway. With that, it's gonna be an interesting finish to this France Grand Prix. A late safety car. Everyone on fresh tires except for Vasilius. I don't understand what Vasilius has done here. Everyone went in for the soft tires. Why didn't you too, Vasilius? You're picking my brain on this one. But nonetheless, driver is still following the safety car. Robin should be under his way trying to catch up to this field. I don't think he's gonna be able to. Let's see, where is he now? Oh no, he's going into the final sector now, so he's not gonna be able to catch up. Interesting, how isn't he actually further ahead? Weird. But with 5 laps to go, it's actually 3 of the top 4 in the championship that is fighting for this win. Obviously, Vasilius, as I mentioned probably 1,000 times now, still on those hard tires. He's made a terrible decision there. Jorge on his old soft tires might have made a bad decision too, considering those shouldn't have too much left of them now. But I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. Who do you think? I'm gonna say that Tim is gonna hold on to this. He's gonna take this win. Of course, Pelty might have something to say, and it's another lap of the safety car. Where is Robin? Oh, but he's still only in the first sector. Oh no, he's in the last sector. Alright. So he might actually be able to catch up to this field then. As what is happening here? I'm not sure what happened, but there has been some position changes there, so I don't know, maybe one of these guys spun it. Robin though, he's getting closer to catch up to this field, but of course though Robin is gonna have a disadvantage as he's used a little of his soft tires already then. Let's see, where is Robin now? He's going on to the long straight. These guys are going out of the chicane, so he's gonna be able to... Oh. Billy. Considering that these guys are gonna be slowing down, oh, he should be able to actually close this gap, but the safety car is on its way in. Robin has caught up to the back of this field now. The two Mercs are just waiting on Tim to make his move to go. Who's gonna be the victorious driver today? Is it gonna be Tim? Is it gonna be Vasilius? Is it gonna be Lewis Marshall? Or are we gonna see a dark horse in Sandro Julius or Jorge Correa maybe? As they're heading through the second to last corner now, and I believe Tim is gonna go out of this last corner. He does. Vasilius's hard tires doesn't have the grip to go, and I believe Vasilius is just gonna let his teammate go here. He does, and it's a great team decision by the Mercs here. Vasilius lets Marshall go. Marshall is gonna go hunt after that Renault of Tim Ventink. He's still within DRS range. Of course, we're gonna have to wait a lap before we get DRS. The question is, what is Vasilius gonna be at the end? You can already see that he is losing time to the two front runners heavily. He's gonna be under attack from Jorge Correa and Sandro, and oh, and look at this, Reese March against Sandro, and I believe Reese March has gotten the position there. Oh, but it's gonna be hard fighting between then Reese March and Rene van der Staap. Or was it actually Rene and Sandro who was fighting there? It might have been actually. But with just a couple of laps left, we're gonna stay with these two front runners now. As we're getting close to the finish line, it's gonna be all between these two. It's gonna be Tim Ventink or Lewis Marshall for the win today. Marshall is getting close to Ventink here, as Marshall sets the fastest lap of the race with a 1:32.659, I believe it was. He's gonna stay behind for that straight, but he's gonna go all out for the long straight here now, I believe. And look at this, he knows Marshall is on his rear. He knows that he have to get a good exit here to be able to keep this Merc behind. However, Marshall has gotten a brilliant run here. He's gonna be close enough. He's gonna open DRS up into overtake. He's not gonna open his DRS actually, so I don't know if we might not have DRS before this next lap then. In the meantime, look at this though, Rene and Reese battling it out. Maybe Marshall is saving that overtake for the last lap. Actually, that could be a decent decision too, but Reese March is gonna go for that position. He's taken that position from Reese Marcher, but still he's still managing to keep that third place. Oh, and there is a spinning Red Bull, and I believe that is Nick van Gelder. And it's close fights everywhere now. Look at this. Jorge is probably starting to struggle on his soft tires now. But look at this though, Marshall is pressuring Tim Ventink here now. DRS is gonna be up this lap. 2 laps left. And it's the Netherlands against Britain. Oh, and look at this, Marshall is getting really close to that rear of Tim. More than close enough to make a move here. He's gonna have DRS. He's gonna chuck it into hot lap and overtake, and he's gonna make a move at Tim Ventink into this chicane. Tim doesn't even go defensive. He knows that this move is gonna be... Oh, but he's fighting back though. But Marshall is gonna have him on the exit here, and Marshall lead with just one more lap to go. Oh, but look at this. Tim might be coming back for that position though. He's gonna have DRS on Marshall on the long straight this next lap. Marshall is gonna have to try to stretch out the little gap in the final sector here. And you can see that he's almost managing to do it. Tim is staying with him. Tim has one lap older. Soft tires, that could hurt him a bit now, and we can see that Jorge Correa has managed to get past Billy for third now. Then into the first corner, Tim still has Marshall within range of getting this race win, but Marshall is gonna try to stretch it out here. He does have enough ERS to go fully out on this last lap. Through this first sector they go, and on to the long straight. Marshall needs to get a good exit here to keep Tim off. I think he's... oh no, I don't think he's managed to. Tim is gonna be close enough, and we can see a lot of battling behind two. Vasilis is gonna have to fending off Sandro, and Marshall, he's gonna have to go defensive against Tim here, but Tim doesn't get past. Now it's all about this last sector without any mistakes from Lewis Marshall. He's gonna go over the line as today's winner, but Tim is still right behind him. Oh, and Marshall goes defensive into this long right-hander. He knows that Tim is there. He knows he can't take any chances. He's still gonna be ahead, but Tim is still right in his gearbox. Going through this final... oh, and I believe Tim has made a mistake there. He's gone very wide. And I think that has just gifted Marshall an easy pass over the line then. As Marshall comes around the last corner, he's going to go over the line as today's race winner, just ahead of Tim Venting. In third, we're going to have Jorge Correa, but he's going to lose it to Sandro Julius on penalties. In fourth, it's Rene van der Stapp. Then in fifth, we have Reese March, Vasilis, Vasilis, 6 times, I still can't do that name. Jorge drops down to 7th. Robin goes up to 8th in the end. Ivan Brito up to in 9th. Then Brian Power in 10th for the last point. Then Colin Higgins in 11th. Samuel Brandt passing the line in 12th. As the last driver to finish his race. And what an ending to a spectacular race. But it is the mark of Lewis Marshall going over the line as today's race winner. Just ahead of the Dutchman Tim Venting. Then Sandro Julius in third. I will have to say though, I have seen better spraying of champagne before than this. As we're gonna get the final standings here up. And it's Lewis Marshall taking the win today, just ahead of Tim Venting. Then Sandro Julius in third, Rene van der Stapp, then Reese March, Vasilis this name, Belitz, now I'm giving it up, Vasilis, Jorge Correa, then Robin Herstehaugen, Ivan Brito, Brian Power for last point. Then we had Samuel Brandt, Colin Higgins and Nick van Gelder all finishing, but without points. Then you have Dion Stahl, Juro Marusic and Jan Holm all DNFing today. Nick van Gelder 2 laps behind in the end. And we are gonna see if we can get the top 3 in for some interviews. So let's see here. Praga. Andrew. Yeah, I think I've gotten the right people then. Maybe not actually. Yes, Marshall, I am inviting. But I think I invited your wrong account if you have to. Alright, I might have invited the right account. The wrong brand, yeah. Alright, I am actually a legend because I managed to remember Tim's gamertag. But we're gonna start off with third place as we have the whole podium in here then, and that would be you, Sandro. So first of all, congratulations with third place in the end, and I didn't exactly get your finish there in the end. There was a lot of drivers here and there, but you didn't pass the line in third. I know Jorge did, but there was penalties involved. But you're not fighting for the championship this season, it looks like. So my first question then, as a stand-in commentator, will be like, what is your experience on this new game been?
First of all, thanks of course for congratulating me. Really happy with the podium. Did not see that coming at all. I thought I would be like 8th place, but yeah, got lucky and had a good strategy with the safety car, and ultimately got home in P3. Really happy with that. The season so far has been a real struggle. I mean, you've seen me have a lot of incidents, crashes. Only scored a few this season. I didn't have a great experience with this game so far. The driving style, the handling model doesn't suit my driving style at all. It's understeery, it's unstable under acceleration. Really not my style. I have been struggling so far this season, but I really hope that I'm going to improve for the rest of the season and hopefully get some more podiums on the road.
Alright, so this is your first podium of this season then, I guess, or...
Yes, it is.
Alright, well, that's a good start to try to get back up there. And obviously, France being the track it is. Did you think you were gonna end up with a lot of penalties, or were you confident in the track today?
I didn't even think about it too much, because from experience, if you think about penalties, you always get them for some reason. Today I got 6 seconds worth of penalties. I kept it clean most race, but I had some phases in the race where I cut the chicane sometimes. I mean, I had some bad experience on this track with penalties. Last year, for example, I lost the victory because of a penalty with 2 laps to go. So I hope to be careful today, and I was careful, still got 6 seconds, but ultimately I still got the podium, so I won't complain.
Can't complain about a podium, especially don't when you've had a bad start to the season, but it's only round 7, so there's a lot of tracks left, and like you feel like you're getting a little more into it, and then you think you're gonna get a few more podiums, maybe a race win at the end.
Yeah, obviously, if you keep on playing the game more and more, you suddenly, not suddenly, on the road, you're just gonna get used to the game and the driving model. And I hope I'm still learning. It's still a work in progress, basically, with me this season. But definitely, I mean, today was total chaos in the last few laps, and I got a podium out of it. You can always get a podium. Everything's possible in league racing. And of course, I would love to get a podium just by my own pace. That's like my target for the rest of the season. But yeah, I mean, podiums are always possible, and that's obviously my target.
Alright. Well, there is one more race before the Christmas break with China next weekend, so...
Oh, it's China.
What do you...
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh.
So what are you looking for there then, Sandro?
Really not high expectations. China has proven to be probably my worst track on the calendar. I even crashed out last year right after coming off my win at Singapore. It just doesn't suit my driving style. It's understeery, it has some big acceleration zones, really everything that doesn't really suit me. I'm just aiming for some good points, hopefully, just keep it clean and bring the car home, and then I'm gonna go full attack for the race after China.
Alright, well, fair enough then. Good luck for China, and once again, congratulations on your first podium this season.
Thank you very much.
And then we're heading on to second, which was Team Ventic in the end, and congratulations first of all with second place.
Thank you.
So in quali it was wet and you got close to that pole position. Did you think Marshall would be able to beat it in the end?
Yeah. I was watching his last lap. I saw his he was 5 tenths up. So yeah, I already thought, okay, bye bye Paul.
I'll just hear him in the party going, no Marshall, no Marshall.
Well. Well then, when you started the race, I guess you saw that you were on different strategies. Marshall opted to start on the soft, you opted to start on the medium, so were you always sure about going over to the softs when you started on the mediums, or...?
Yeah.
Alright, good man. Knows the proper strategies. On to my second question surrounding that then. You saw Marshall starting on the soft tires. Who did you think were the smartest person at that point? Did you think your strategy was the best, or...?
Well, that's actually a pretty good question. But then the safety car ruined it.
To be fair,
So I thought,
the safety car was fortunate for your part, I think, because you had a big gap to catch up there. Marshall, well, if his teammate didn't let him go at the home finish straight there, I think he would have been annoyed. But yeah, it was a close-fought battle in the end, and you had some battling when you catched up to Marshall on the first stint there when he was on soft tires. I was sitting here screaming to myself in my head, like, go into the pit, Marshall, this is not a good idea. Of course he stayed out. But you managed to pass him and tried to put some time into him. Like, how confident were you that it would work, or that it wouldn't, if that, for that matter?
Yeah, when I passed Lewis, I was pretty confident that my strategy would work. And I tried to get it to lap 19 when my tire wear was really high. And I actually got a puncture right before the pit limiter starts. So I was pretty lucky with that.
Well, that's a lot of tire wear then. But still though, you guys were in... Well, you were pretty much in first and second when the safety car ended, even though Vasilius was there. But yeah, the final few laps there, how were they? Nerve-wracking? Did you think you could...
especially the last lap. When I almost lost it.
Yeah, I saw that you made a mistake there, and like at that point I knew that Marshall was going over the line in first, and what happened during that mistake?
I was on rich and hot lap with old tires, so I had so much wheel spin, I lost it.
Alright, fair enough. Well, as we mentioned earlier, China is next round next week. So, how are you looking there?
Probably not very strong. The track just really doesn't fit me. And
the track
I'm
doesn't
not
fit
really
a lot of people, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Well, nonetheless, though, losing a few points to Marshall, but you're still the closest competitor in the championship. So.
Yeah.
Are you looking for the title, or are you kind of happy where you're sitting right now?
I'm happy where I'm sitting now, but of course I would want to win the title.
Don't worry, Marshall is gonna bottle a few tracks, so you're gonna end up in the lead.
Known too well.
Well, Congratulations, Tim, and good luck for China. And
All right.
on to Marshall and the second part of the Hmong brand.
Yep.
And you were a Hmong today.
Why?
Well, I mean, quali, you impressed me in the end because when you said
Away
that
from the laps are
you
bad.
said your lap was bad, and I did agree with you on that one.
Yeah, my first sector was shocking.
Yeah, it was, and I was expecting more, but you did manage to get pole in the end, and you started on the strategy I would have started on. So I was like proud that you didn't go strategy or something, but when
No.
you started losing time on your soft tires, like why did you keep getting them so far?
Just because I didn't know how long the mediums lasted.
They last 22 laps.
So I didn't know that. I just stayed out until I really had to pit.
Yeah.
Then I was like, Lewis, why are you on mediums? You don't know until it's 2-stop. I was just like, you don't know what I'm doing.
Fair enough. Well, I can tell you that when we did France in PSGL, I took the mediums from lap 5.
Oh wow.
Didn't
Okay.
puncture, so trust me, you could have gone onto them earlier. But you started catching up though, and as his mediums was going off at the end, you caught up more, and it looked like it would be an easy victory for you in the end, considering he had a lot of time to gain to catch up to, but then the safety car came out. What were you thinking then?
Fuck the game, pretty much.
Oh, we're there.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, a few laps before the safety car came out, we were just talking about the safety car, saying how it never comes out. And I just said, when it does come out, it comes out at the worst time. Then what happens? It comes out, then Tim pits. Then...
Yeah, and you had just passed the pit, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
You see, I saw that, and then again, when you pitted, that was the right call in my opinion. But your teammate, though, what were he thinking? He stayed out on the hard tires, and well,
probably didn't want to double stack, I guess.
but
Which
he
I
was
kind of understand.
he
But
was
it
so
would,
far behind. It wouldn't have been a double stack.
yeah. To be honest, I'm not sure what I was thinking. I knew I was pitting. It was mainly way of winning, really.
Oh, you're right there. And well, it came out. You got a nice tow from your teammate. He then just moved over, and you knew that it was between you and Tim. And to be fair, you caught up quite quickly actually. And 2 laps left. You were right on his rear. You had to make the move. What were going through your mind?
Well, just get past him as quickly as possible and just try and make a gap. But I'm not sure if you caught it on the stream. When I went down the inside, we actually banged wheels.
A little
And
bit.
yeah, I lost like a bit of my wing from that. Which me and Tim was in the party. Was like, that was barely contact, and I lost my wing. So yeah, then Tim made that mistake on the last lap. I was like, cheers, Tim.
Thank you for the win.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're sitting in the lead of the championship. It's China next week. I know you like that track, so obviously everyone else says they don't like it. So another win then, or?
I'm always here to win. But yeah, China's my
Winning
favourite track.
mentality.
To be fair, I had to fight for it today, so...
Well, you had to, and took those soft tires way longer than I would have, but that's my opinion.
Yeah.
Well,
There was like a 70% when I pitted. I was just like, yeah, got to pit.
we've already heard then that you have the winning mentality, but sitting in the lead, you are here to win. Are you confident that you're gonna win this title, though?
Like I said, I do bottle sometimes. So if I just finish after I bottle and get points, then that could win me the championship. So fairly confident.
Fairly confident. A little cautious with his answer there, but nice. Well then, congratulations on your race win today and good luck for China.
Thank you.
And then we're gonna end off the stream in a few short moments. This has been SRL Season 5, Round 7, France. I've been your commentator today, Sondre Sorhaug, stepping in for Lance, who I can't remember what he was doing, but he was unavailable, so that happens. On the other hand, if you want to catch some more racing, there is one more round next weekend at Marshall. Your usual racing time.
What?
Your usual racing time, because I can't remember that.
Oh, it's like 3 o'clock, I think. 3 o'clock UK
so
time.
3 p.m. next week at Saturday then. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel to catch more breathtaking racing. With that, I'm gonna say thank you and good day to everyone who's watched.
Goodbye.